Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my, that's pretty much it. If you are keen or interested, you'll find the link to my Patreon listed in my description box below. And you can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google. Search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? In the energy, I really feel it. This message is going to be very clinical, okay? Meaning it's going to be based on an energy of a person that is clinically unwell in terms of their mind. We all live in this world having no clue the problems, the issues, the dilemmas that others face within themselves, the inner turmoil, the inner environment within others. You know, we only are associated with that within ourselves. We have no clue what other people deal with. We have no clue what other people face, you know, despite all that we can just see or all that we assume or hear or we think we know, right? So with that being said, within that regard, there is somebody here in specific whom, you know, they live in this world just like we all do. But this person, they live in a certain reality of their own, right? Like you would think that this person, you would think that they're sane or at least conscious of themselves or tapped into life in an approach of like, you know, knowing what's right, what's wrong based on decisions and choices that they make and things like that. But like, I feel like you're dealing with an energy of a person here that like this person, someone is truly clinically unwell, okay, in terms of their psychology, their psychiatry, okay, conscious and subconscious. Someone is clinically unwell, okay, and it's not about a specific diagnosis. This has to do with the mind of a person and the fact that just because people know they own demons, it doesn't mean they have the willpower or the capacity or the capability to deal with their demons. Some people live with their demons. Some people's demons live inside of them and they just find home in that. You know, so I don't know what we're about to tap into, you guys, but I know that it's going to be something really serious here. Okay, so just get your popcorn or your drink, whatever, and just relax and let's see what God has in store for us. Okay. We have the world. Okay, we have the world energy. Followed, oh, okay. We have the Nine of Wands. Okay, I'm being called to take it upright. It fell in the reverse energy. We have Gemini energy. We have Sagittarius energy. We have Leo energy. We have Aquarius energy. We have Taurus energy. We have Scorpio energy here. We have the Fool. We have Aries energy. Double Aries energy with the Seven of Wands. Triple Aries energy actually. Double Sagittarius energy. And we have double Leo energy. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. And then we have Virgo energy with the Hermit. So there's something seriously wrong with someone, okay? It's like there is something in someone's brain. The stimuli, the chemical stimuli, the way in which this person processes reality, the way in which this person processes their own reality, their own feelings, their own emotions, their own thoughts, just them. There's something wrong with someone's mind here. Okay? So you could know this person directly or you could know them indirectly. Indirectly meaning you know of them, you've seen something in relation to them, or you've heard, but there's no personal connection. There's never been a personal connection. And then directly is symbolic. Directly is symbolic to direct knowing. You could directly know this person. So take it how it resonates for your reality and your world. Okay? Something is going on here. This is going to be long, okay? This is going to be a long message. So, you're dealing with somebody who has always had this condition or this way of being in terms of their mind not being right. Like, there's a reason that there's a mass population of us human beings and we all have rules that we obey in terms of human rules. Like, we know how to act, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of the way in which we maneuver life, in terms of the things that we do. Like, you won't go up to a random stranger's face and just spit on it. You won't freaking try and drive on the road and then swerve your car into another person's car. Like, when I say human rules, it's like coexisting with one another. We know, how that goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, guys, you're dealing with an individual here whom has never lived a life of coexisting with other human beings. Within themselves, they have their own reality, their own life, their own world, which is fine. We all do. But it's based on that clinical nature of it where somebody is seriously not okay mentally. Like, I see it. Like, I see that somebody has a condition, like somebody has a certain diagnosis that they've yet to understand or tap into or address or see or know. Like, somebody is not okay mentally. Somebody's mind needs some form of help. Because the way I'm seeing this person within the energy that we are tapped into for this message, all right, it's like this is somebody who in their life once before, this person has always, like, in general, they've always been the type of person that obsesses over things, people, objects, places. Like, they will have one thing that they spend their entire time devoted to. Now, whether that thing is good or bad for them, this person, it doesn't register in that way. It just registers as like, oh, I'm attached to this, and it builds obsession, and they just keep attaching themselves to it until they're sick of it, or until something happens that enables them to detach and attach themselves to something else. And this goes same with people. They do that with people, not just things. They do that with environments. Also, they attach themselves to environments. They do that with ways of life. They attach themselves to this way of living, these methods and techniques of life, and their own tools, and they just overly attach themselves. It builds that obsession, and then it just becomes a part of them in that way. So they are like that. Let's establish that first. Like, you know how we've all been raised somehow by someone or people in a certain environment. We were living under someone else's rules, or we were living a life of a certain lifestyle. It's just there was a way in which we grew up, we were raised. And if you think about it, that state of being that we were once in, we were not conscious of what we are conscious of now, obviously. Our minds weren't in that state of awareness. They weren't in that state of being able to fully grasp emotion, thought, anything really. It was like, if you look at being raised, you are being shaped, right? It can, even if it's toxic and unhealthy, it can be looked at as programming or conditioning. But in general, being raised is like being shaped. Your environment shapes you, the people around your environment, the verbal communication, the emotional style of being towards others that you have witnessed, things that have happened, things that you've seen, it shapes you. And then when you are finally in a predicament where you are out of that environment that you grew up in, or out of the hand or the authority or the control of the person who raised you, you are now in the energy of creating a world of your own outside of what you were raised by or grew up with. But it does not mean that just because now, guys, we are no longer kids, or we are no longer in that environment, that child's environment who we once were, it does not mean that all that we've gone through fades because we are adults. Or that's why there are still people processing childhood trauma. We all have been through that or are going through that, and that's fine. It's life. We deal with that. My point in this is like, this person that we are tapped into within the general energy, the general message, this is somebody whose childhood trauma is very severe, and it is conducive, and it's like a synergy where this person's childhood is directly attached to the condition of their mind. Not the conditioning of their mind, but the state of being of their mind, the nature of this person's mind. I see the energy of this person when they were raised in an unhealthy environment, whether it was poverty or not, or whether they were two parents or not. It was never about anything outside of this person's environment didn't shape their mind well. And into their adulthood, which is the present moment, that has a severe, that truth that their childhood shaped their mind almost in a dangerous menace type of energy. It shaped their mind, programmed their mind, and conditioned their mind in a very dark way or space. It led to this person, I feel that this person no one ever understood the fact that they were not okay mentally. It was never understood. It was, I see that this person at some point within their environment where they were raised, or those that were around them and things like that, they knew that this person was suffering somehow. This could be somebody who was prone to depression, psychosis, mania, somebody who was prone to delusion of grandeur, where they see something that isn't there, or they experience situations in a hypothetical way based on like fantasy. They straight fantasy and never tapped into reality, and it just makes them not well stable. Like there's a lot that this person, take it how it resonates based on what you know, or what you've heard, or what you've seen, based on the energy of this person or who they are in your reality, directly or indirectly, male or female. Okay, whether this is a feminine or a masculine, here, take it out applies. So this person, because they were raised, this is very clinical here. Because they were raised in that way, right? Where no one understood them. Like they could have had this going on, or that going on, or that person, this situation. It's like, yes, all of those were contributing factors to the shaping, conditioning, and programming of this person's self as they were raised. But the main truth was that this person, if it's like, guys, when we are born, there are certain things that might be wrong with us that our parents never knew, or there's just nothing wrong with you. You're just like fine, right? There are certain people that are born and they have a certain condition, a heart condition already as a child. They have to be monitored. Certain people are born, they have asthma. Certain people are born, they have some level of sickness. But this sickness that this person was born with is a mental sickness. Somebody has always had a problem within their mind. Somebody's mind has never operated sanely or with rationality. Rationality and sanity are what enable all of us to be able to coexist as human beings. Like I said, with those analogies, those reference points and case studies and examples of, like, you can't just go up to a stranger's face and spit on it. But this person here would do something like that, and they would be like, why can't you do that? Let's not get carried away. Let's come back to this. When I say, like, this person here, like, they have always suffered from something. Like, it's been a chronic mental illness, a chronic mental sickness, a chronic state of being within their mind. I know that I was raised by someone who was also like that. They've always never been okay. And as an adult, they became more dangerous to them and others, including myself, more of a menace. So with that being said, it's like, people, we never really, if you look at life, like, we never got the help that we need. We have to give ourselves the help. Even those that choose healing and evolution, those that believe in God, those that don't, like, everybody has ended up in a predicament where they have to help themselves or choose themselves because their world and their reality was not receptive to who they were. We find ourselves in situations where you don't even want to express to anybody, just bottle and suppress and compress everything because you don't feel understood or seen or heard. This is this person who has always been in that state of being. Not because they didn't have this or didn't have that, but because they never felt like they were right in their mind. Like, they always felt like something was wrong, and they never felt understood in that way until it's like a tumor, and it just grew and grew and festered until, there's nothing that can be done to rid that tumor. And in this instance, the tumor is a figure of speech to this person's mental crisis or mental health. This person is too far gone within their mind to be helped. Somebody can't be helped. This could be family, friend, stranger. This could be somebody of your past, present. This literally could be anyone. Take it how it applies, okay? Feminine or masculine, okay? You know what you know. This is just guidance. This is just an illumination, enlightenment, okay? So also with what you know already of this person, if you think about it, like what I'm seeing here is like, if you think about it, there's a lot of instances where you would say, or you would act, if you think about it for a minute or meditate on it and actually understand, like somebody has never been okay. Their behaviors, the things that they say, however way that they say it, the things that cross their mind in terms of if they've ever expressed their thoughts, or if you've ever heard something of that regard based on their thoughts, like whether it's intuitively or directly from another third party, you've heard something, okay? But this person, because they never felt understood, right? They never felt seen, based on the fact that their mind was like someone has never been okay mentally, like someone's mind has never been okay. And now that they've reached a point in their life of adulthood and reaching a point in their life where they no longer that little girl or that little boy that can seek help or counseling or therapy or psychiatry, psychology, anything of an outlet or remedy or some form of hospitality, clinical hospitality, or even spiritual hospitality, like this person, something has worsened to the point of no return, right? Now, what does this have to do with you, my beloved? With that being said, go back to what we established, what I told you, what we've established in the energy of this person, about them always being the type of person to attach themselves to something until they grow an obsession towards it, until they stop fixating on it or they get sick of it and move on to something else. Now, I also said, based on what we've established, that they do this, it's their style. Like everybody has a style of being. Some people, they really stern and disciplined. You know, some people, they really just rebellious, or some people are free spirited. Some people enjoy just not caring. Some people are very oblivious and ignorant. Some people are very angry, mad, and bitter. Like everybody has a style of being, whether we've acknowledged it or not. Everybody has a style of being. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, this person's style of being is attachment to everything to the point of obsession until it dies off, or it grows and festers and rots, and it's like a lifetime chronic thing where they'll never let something go because they are that attached. It's like someone has a problem here. It's like this is the type of person that will overdo something to the point where it's like overindulgence. Imagine eating freaking 8 boxes of ice cream in a day, like just continuously continue, because you quote unquote you love it, not thinking about, oh, my health, not thinking about, oh, maybe diarrhea, or not thinking about the fact that, you know, if you are in that state of being of like my weight, or not thinking about, oh, my skin, what if like I break out, like just having a conscious mind even with whatever it is that you are doing. So in this regard, this person's conscious mind, I feel, has always been minimized to a 0% or even close to a 5%, where they don't operate from consciousness, they operate from subconsciousness. And that's why they are the way that they are. And however way that this goes, like their clinical illness in terms of their mind, that diagnosis can explain further, right? Whether it's a spiritual diagnosis or it's something based on hospital or hospitality of the mind, right? But with that being said, this person, they encountered you in their life. They've encountered you, and whoever they are to you, and however way they encountered you, came across you, met you, saw you, however way this person knows you, the same attachment style that they have towards everything, because that's just who they are. Remember what we've established, the condition of this person's mind, the state of being, the nature of their mind. It's like the energy is changing. Let's tap in further to the energy, okay? Think we've understood it, and now we can get deeper, a little bit deeper. Okay? Let us tap in and talk to God further about what we have going on here, this message itself. So this has nothing to do with age, race, ethnicity, traditions, morals, values. Like, this is literally someone's mind that we are tapped into, and the way in which this person views you and everything surrounding that, because it all stems from perspective. Everyone can resonate with the same message from a different perspective, but it's the same message. We can live in the same world, but live it in a different reality because of the perspective. You understand? So this condition of this person's mind here, it has always existed, okay? It has always existed. And, you know, the nature of this person's mind, the state of being of this person's mind, it's nothing new. It's just that, you know, guys, things grow or they rot. But either way, it becomes more of what it was. And even when it rots, it decomposes to a different state of being of what it was, you know. Let's tap in here, guys. Like, I was channeling an energy. Right? I was channeling an energy. And as I was tapping into the energy here, it's like this person, it's getting to the point where they cannot live with this condition. Like, at first, this person tried to romanticize this mental sickness, mental illness, mental disturbed energy. Like, they tried to like be in the state of being of romanticizing it and like befriending, you know, the condition or the diagnosis that is either yet to be addressed, or it's yet to be known, or yet to be figured out, seen, heard of. Like, but this person already has a history of some form of depression, a history of some form of mania, a history of some form of psychosis. So, beloved, with that being said here, let's see. Okay, let's see deeper into this. Before I establish more of the message itself, we need to understand here that, you, as people, we are different kinds of people. We walk in a different type of energy. We embody, just a different state of being. You don't encounter the same person in everyone. You can literally be in someone's energy and you feel completely different than when you are in that person's energy. That person thinks completely different than that person. That person's way of being is different from like, we're all different, right? But we are all, like, in the fact that we are collective, we can be looked at as a certain breed, right? And in this instance, it's divine feminine, a breed of divine feminines, a breed of divine masculines, right? So that's in that context. But in this way, this breed of a person here, there's a lot of people whose minds are not right and have always been in that way. And it has always messed them up somehow, whether they've acknowledged it or not, whether they see it about themselves or not, or whether it's they've heard or seen or known themselves to be that way or anything like that. But not everybody walking this planet is 100% okay within their mind. Some people's minds genuinely just ain't never been right. They have never been right. And this is one of those people, this breed of a person who has a very obscure, strange, odd mind. But it's based on a certain level of darkness here. So the energy that I was channeling with regards to this person towards you, it's like this person feels like you are, like, as soon as they encountered you, whether they're younger than you, older than you, same age, whether they this type of ethnicity, whether, it does not matter. All of those things don't matter. This is based on energy. This is based on, way of being, charisma, class, elegance, intelligence, intellect. This is based on the adjectives that describe another person, not based on their race, ethnicity, not based on anything outside of the fact that, like, you can describe someone, an example, an analogy, a reference point, a case study. It's like you can describe someone and say, like, this person is this sort of way. But this description could only just be based on, a specific layer of the person. Doesn't mean that's who they are entirely. You can say, oh, they're intelligent, but how many intelligent people are they? And in what way are they intelligent? You know what I'm saying? There's variety. So this person feels like you are them, but in a different body. I know this just got a little bit dark or a little bit weird, creepy, either way, but it just took a turn. Okay, this person feels like you are them in a different body. This person has always felt this way towards you, but the version of themselves that they've attached you to is like they've attached a certain version of themselves to you, and this version of themselves is like they see you as a higher being. It's like somebody looking at someone and saying, like, if I were in my high self, or if I were tapped in a high vibration, I'd be exactly like this person. Or if I were a good person, or if I had these material possessions, or if I drove this car, or if I worked in this place, or if I were around these people, I'd be exactly like this person. Like this person, they've convinced themselves that you and them are extremely alike, extremely similar, to the extent that they've attached themselves to that version of who you are to them, and they've built a relationship with that to the extent that it's enabled them to, whether this is a feminine towards another feminine, whether this is a masculine towards another masculine, or a masculine towards a feminine towards a masculine, take it out, resonate. It really is up to your reality. But what I'm about to say, it's like, whatever the gender dynamic is, it does not matter, because this person has fallen in love with you and the concept that like you are them in a different body. You are them, but like you just, like you live like this, or you have this, or you do that, or you go there, but like they feel like you are them, like you are them. So with that being said here, it's like this person feels like everything about you, like whatever the difference is between you and them, to them it's not a difference. It's merely just like, oh, if I were in the same position, whatever the difference might be, maybe you and them have different types of hair. If I were to have this hair on, or hair color, or hairstyle, like I'd be exactly like them. And not just based on looks, guys. This is based on like how it would suit them, or just what it would, maybe their eyes would pop, or the jaw would like be more sharp. Like this person, they live in their own world. It's like this person, ever since they encountered you, they've always told themselves that you are them. And they look at you to be the version of themselves that they would like to be, or the version of themselves that they would like to get to, but it's them nonetheless. In their mind, it's like, it's me nonetheless. It's just like, if I had this, or if I were doing that, if I were here, you know. So with that being said here, this person started getting greedy, and they started stalking you. It started off like, okay, they started like stalking you or studying you. Okay, they were either stalking you, or they were either studying you. You know, if they were directly connected to you, it could be both, right? Or it could go both ways. If they obviously directly connected to you, they would like be studying you, and then maybe stalk you from afar, or stalk you with you not knowing, unknowingly, right? And then if they are indirectly connected to you, then they would straight just stalk you, and with whatever it is that they find about you, or see, or learn, or know about you, they study that based on your identity. But as this person kept doing that, don't forget, they already have that attachment style of being. So that is already step one, where they've attached themselves to you, and then they've developed a relationship with you in their mind. So as they kept stalking you, as they kept studying you, it just increased. Like this attachment became more than an attachment. It became an obsession. Okay? It literally became an obsession. And then it's now to the point where this person, they wanted to be you. I know that you've probably, as you've been tapped into the readings, the messages, the energy in general, this person has been in the midst of your messages and your readings a lot. And it's because, like, you need to understand. I think with that being said, we've established the depth, how deep this goes, and now you are in a position to understand things from a more clearer perspective based on what is actually going on. Like, it's not just, oh, they're obsessed with me. It's like, how is that dynamic of obsession? Because someone can be obsessed with someone and want them dead. Someone can be obsessed with someone and like want to destroy them. Someone can be obsessed with someone and because they envy and they jealous of them. It's like there's different styles of obsession, styles of attachment. So this person is in the energy of like, as soon as they started stalking and studying you, they continued developing this attachment until it became an obsession, and this person fell in love with your identity. And most specifically, they fell in love with the idea of like your spirit, because when we die, it's just what's left is the body, but the physical is just the flesh. The spirit is who we are, like our breath. All right. The spirit travels to the mind, the way we think. The brain is tangible, it can be touched, but what makes it the mind and it creating thoughts? Same with the heart. It's tangible in the human anatomy, the flesh, but like you can touch it. That's with the tangibility. But obviously, there's the spirit of the heart, the spirit of the mind, and the spirit of even the body, where the body knows, oh, I'm itching, or just muscle reflex where you are so used to a certain movement and it just happens, that you don't even think about it. There's the spirit of everything. So this person became obsessed and fell in love with your spirit being in their body. I know, you guys. This person, they got to that point, right? And it got to the point where now they were trying to figure out a way to swap your spirit with theirs. Like, this person they spend so much time being obsessed with you and being in this energy that like they felt like there was no point in being themselves. Like, they would rather be you, because like this person, like, again, like they put you on a certain pedestal of being, where it's like, but don't forget, like, they're not right in the mind. Like, they visualize how they would be if they were you. And this has nothing to do with your flesh, but like your spirit, your spiritual mind, your spiritual heart, how you think, how you feel. You know what I'm saying? That makes you who you are based on your identity. And then the identity of the flesh is just how you look, but the real you is within. Because anybody can falsify their identity within the flesh. Like, we can put on wigs, we can freaking paint ourselves in an illusionary way where we act in terms of the flesh, portray ourselves as what we are not, like false person energy. Like, it's easy to manipulate the flesh. That's my point here. So the flesh is never real, it's just real based on its existence, but it can always be altered. It can always be changed. People be changing how they look, changing their body. Someone, they thick and then they want to be slim. They slim, then they want to be thick. Like, the human anatomy is just a piece of meat, and it dies. It dies when we do. But what actually dies is the spirit of a person. So this person, they well informed about that way of thinking, like in terms of spirituality. Like, they know what's up. Like, they are spiritually inclined. They just a very dark person, like a dark witch, or they just a dark spirited type of person. But for some reason, because of how they operate and what they've conditioned themselves to believe and what they see you to be in their mind and all these things, they've literally convinced themselves that, you know what, I am this person and they are me. We are the same, like twins. So this person went ahead and they tried to research, figure out, and tap into spiritual ways to do this, to swap your spirit with theirs. And they were told with the information that they had, like they went to somebody who was into doing that, like body jumping or you know, stealing destinies, and somebody who dibbles and dabbles in that. And they went to that person, and that person was like, yes, it's possible to do that to this person. But this person went to a voodoo priest. Okay, this voodoo priest told this person, the only way to do this is if you create a voodoo doll of this person. You think they you, right? Or you want them to be you, right? So have this voodoo doll. Let's have this voodoo doll, and you build a relationship with it. You clothe it, you bathe it, you feed it with like incantations, like you speak to it by feeding it power. This person was specific. I'm hearing all these things. This person was specifically given all these instructions on how to go about all of this, and they obeyed for a very long time, like 7 months plus. Somebody had created a doll of you. For 7 months plus, somebody had a doll of you. They wanted to be you that bad. They were so desperate for your identity. This person ate, slept, breathed you. They were not okay with themselves for a long time, and still are not okay because they are not you. Don't forget this person's mind, their condition of the mind. Someone is not okay. Like someone is literally very deranged or very delusional, just very, very lost within their mind. And this person felt like they would be complete, they would be whole if they had your spirit in their body, and they would live as you in that way. I hope your snacks are not like finishing, because like this is crunch time here. Like this is something crazy. Because also what I'm seeing, beloved, is like you need to understand your divinity. Like I read for divine feminines, I read for divine masculines. Your divinity enables people to do things they would never imagine. Like somebody would literally go above and beyond in every way, break any barrier of self-respect or any boundary that they've created with themselves, just to accumulate you somehow, whether it's by your energy, whether it's your presence, whether it's your wisdom, whether it's your light, whether it's your way of being, even your style. Like you don't, like, people really be doing crazy stuff out here in general, but something has to bring it out of them. And your divinity can bring this out of people. Not saying it's your fault, none of that. Nah, don't be crazy by thinking like that. Now, don't do that. Just understand, like, we as beings, we carry ranks. Certain people are highly ranked spiritually. Their energy is just so illuminating. They're just so enlightened, and you can't help but be drawn to them. You can't help but look at them in this magnetic way, or just they're so charming, you so in love, or it's obsession. It's like obsession that people have towards things is different from obsession people have towards other people. It's like a fan to their favorite musician. They will literally do anything for them. They don't need to know this and that about them. They don't need to know their secrets that they don't even care that they might be a bad person. It's whatever is within. Based on this obsession, it controls everything else. It consumes the whole entire being about the person, to the point where they don't care. Like, yeah, I don't care. So it's like some fans would tattoo the face of their favorite artist, the name of their favorite artist, have posters all over, have listen to them every day. It's like they build what? A relationship with the artist, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, but it's a relationship that is built. They build it. And same with this person. They consumed you for so long based on stalking you, studying you, that like they created a relationship with you in their mind. And because they mind condition, diagnosis, whether they know what it is or they've yet to figure it out, or if they've yet to address it, yet to see it, yet to understand it, either way, because of their mind not being right, it developed into this. It's because of the fact that they are not right. Someone is delusional, deranged, unstable, imbalanced, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. Because if your mind ain't right, your emotions can't be right. Because when you think something, it creates feelings, and what you feel conditions you to what you know. Oh, I feel sad today, so I know I'm sad. Or I think I'm unhappy, so I will feel unhappy. It's like every aspect of our human anatomy, whether it's a spiritual aspect or physical aspect, emotional, mental, it's like the mind works with the heart works with the mind, the spirit, the body. It's all a relationship that they have with one another. So if one is not right, the other can't be, because it works with that. If your health in terms of your physical is declining, there is a possibility that you are not okay emotionally. Maybe you are stressed. Maybe you are facing anxiety. Those are just examples, analogies, reference points, and case studies, you guys, but it's real stuff. It's real life, okay? So, with that being said, this person, the voodoo doll, like literally somebody like dresses this voodoo doll, like this person, they are given all these instructions, like they literally, it's either they knit something for you or they have something knitted for you, and like they freaking, sometimes they urinate on the doll, like they put the doll in the urine, or they like to sexually touch on the doll, like molesting the doll in the parts of the doll, the sexual parts of the doll. Like this person, guys, I think we've established that someone is not okay. So I don't need to emphasize this is crazy. This is crazy. We know that. This person, they are given these instructions every day. Like they talk to this voodoo priest every day, or they used to talk to this voodoo priest every day. It's either the 7 months is up or it's still continuing. But either way, this person was given a period of time of 7 months, like 7 months here. They had to do this routine based on this ritual towards the doll. So this person, they would have to build a relationship with the doll, like they treat the doll like it's a person, and they would envision you as the doll, or you in that doll's form. Like someone literally thinks like this person has literally convinced themselves that you are them in a different body. They fall in love with you. This person be looking at your pictures, beloved, and like touching themselves, whether it's feminine on feminine, masculine on masculine, masculine on feminine, feminine on masculine, feminine or masculine, take it out, resonates. It has nothing to do with gender. Like we're tapped into someone's psychosis of being. Like we've also established that they don't operate from consciousness, they operate from their subconscious mind. Their conscious mind is very much asleep. That's why they don't mind. This person, if you would say go to that man's face and spit on it, they would do that. Just because like they don't think rationally. There is no consequence to them. It's just whatever they want to do, whatever they feel, however, whatever they want, whatever they need. It's like this person, they can't coexist with any human. They try, but this person, they can't do that. They can't do it. So this voodoo priest informed this person about a lot of things, like, I'm going to channel and see what I hear, what I see. Okay. I see rope being tied around the doll and the doll being placed in water, as if the doll is like floating in the water. It's the only thing that is not in the water would be the face. It's like, you know, when you in the pool and like you're just floating and like the only thing that is not in the water is your face. And you know, when you go to the clinic, right, they prick you to take your blood and they put it in a jar thing. I see that voodoo priest has done that with this person's blood, and that same blood they continuously use it to put it in that water mixture. And this is like hot water, like boiling. And this is to increase the soul tie, the spiritual tie. So one thing, like, I know I'm so deadly hated by some of the most dangerous voodoo priests and witchcraft doctors and black magic practitioners, but it's because I reveal their tools and their methods, you know. So with that being said, it's like after they take this doll out the freaking water, they put it with the blood, right? The water that has the blood in it, they tie it around a tree, an oak tree. The tree has to be severely like old, like clearly it's been around for like ages or decades or just a long time. An ancient type of tree. It's been, you know, it's been, and it must be tied. This tree must be in a local area of the person that's doing this, not the voodoo priest, but the person that feels like you or them in a different body, so that they can have access to the doll. But also, it must be that same local area must be a part of the area that is isolated, where no one hardly goes there or passes there, or cars don't just be going, you know, back and forth. So this person, they were given the instructions that, okay, for the first 3 months or 2 months or 4 months, or for the first month, like, you must go to this tree, right, and like speak to the doll and tell the doll like what you want. And in this instance, they just wanted your spirit. They wanted to feel like you, think like you. They wanted to be you in that way. So they would just continuously talk to the doll, and then they're given other instructions after that time has passed, like, okay, now take this doll home with you. Make sure you put it in a pack, or you put it in a transparent bag, you know, or you put it in a something, right? And you take it with you, and then when you get home, you create a relationship with it. And then this person, obviously, as they would touch on the doll, they would start to feel things, right? It's like Pandora's box. You know, when you in, and it's like this person started to feel things here. And they only thought like it's they're feeling you, or because they're feeling things, it's working. That's what they felt towards all of that. That's what they thought about all of that. It didn't scare this person, because they were like, yes, it's working, or they're feeling your energy. For most of you, the 7 months is up, but for some of you, the 7 months is almost up. It's on the verge of ending, right? Don't forget, we've established that they need to do this for over a period of 7 months, right? So with that being said, this person, they have to now, as this process, this ritual has been going on, this sacrifice, they had to operate like they are okay in the eyes of others, like they still damn. That's why I'm saying, like, someone's mind is not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be doing things like who does this, and then they want to act like they are like fine in general. Like, no. And they, back to the fact that they be clothing this doll, they be doing all types of things to this doll, urinating, just to keep themselves attached to your energy or to keep this going. But beloved, it's like you were not meant to, it's like your energy based on your spirit was meant to slowly deteriorate, like meaning like you were slowly meant to just decrease your mental stimuli. Maybe you usually think in certain ways, or you have a certain mental capacity, all that was meant to start decreasing. Like maybe your, like even your speech, like you use certain type of verbiage, or you have a certain way of speaking, the tone, like everything was meant to slowly die, and you were meant to now have no control over that, and now you're all of a sudden speaking differently, or have a different type of verbiage, different types of thoughts, ways of thinking. Your DNA spiritually was being changed, just like they were trying to decode your DNA using spiritual tools. Okay? And it has not worked. It did not work, because none of that has happened. Nothing is decreasing. So what is happening is like something is returning back to this person here, this woman or this man. They have been continuously frustrated with everything, going back and forth with the voodoo priest. So what must I do? Why is this not working? Why was I feeling those things then if this was not working? I did what you asked. Where's the energy going? What have I been feeling? What does this mean? Like, this person has been losing it because they don't. And this person, that's the thing, like, they could have things going on in their life. Like, this person, whatever they got going on in their life will never satisfy them. They've convinced themselves that they need to be you in order to be happy, in order to be okay. So beloved, yeah, this person, because it's not touching you, this ritual doesn't mean, like, because they went to somebody who was very skilled, or is very skilled in the dark arts. So it's not that this did not work, it just did not work on you. And when it's backfiring, it obviously has to go back to the person that made everything happen. The person that went to consult and said, I need this, I need that. The person who was using their own bodily fluids on the doll. And whoever this is in your reality, beloved, like, whatever self-portrayal they're showing, it's an illusion. This person, the real truth of what they're dealing with is so severe, so scary, so dangerous. It's best you stay away from this person, or you just ignore this person, because I have a feeling that this person might be like starting to get to the point where they like, if I can't be you, like you can't live. Like, for real. The Moon to the Page of Swords is like somebody being in the energy of like watching you. Like, I know personally there's literally somebody outside my house every day in this energy. The very same thing that's happening to you is happening to me. Like, and this person literally wants me taken out, unalived. Like, literally, they have a weapon and everything. And I was given instructions to sit, stay put, don't leave the house. They know that time is up for them. So what I'm saying, beloved, is like, this person here, they were told that, like, if this backfires on them, they'll forever stay bonded to your energy. Like, they'll forever fixate on you, obsess over you. They'll forever be in love with the idea of being you. They'll forever be in the energy of stalking you, wanting your life, meaning they'll never have peace. They'll never be okay with who they are. They'll never be okay with their life. That was the sacrifice that they made when they did what they did to begin with. But now that it's not working, they have to stand on it. They have to live with it. But because they don't want to, they think taking your life, taking you out is the way to do it. Then everything will be like reversed. And that's what this voodoo priest told this person, that like the only way for this to end, or the only way to get this person to go back to the original state of being, even though they've never been right in the mind, like the only way to reverse everything based on this voodoo doll, these spells, this ritual, this sacrifice, is for your life to end. But that's not true. Like it's they were lied to. And that's the thing with these dark arts, quote unquote, masters, priests, anarchies. They really be about their money. And whatever they have to say, when it gets to the point where their own methods and tools and techniques backfire, they'll say it. And now they don't know the impact of what they're saying and how it's making someone be. This person, wherever you are led to not go, whoever you are led to not see, speak to, whatever you're led to not do, if a situation in your life arises and you find yourself like, I can't go there, I had these plans, but I can't meet up with that person, or I wanted to post this earlier, but I don't want to now, or I don't feel like telling this person this thing about what I'm doing, or like whatever you are led not to do, wherever you are led not to be, however way, understand that it's your protection, it's your divine guidance, because there's a sicko on the loose. Somebody is psycho, obsessed with your identity. If they can't be you, they'd rather have you not living, because they can't bear the thought of not being you. They literally look at themselves in the mirror and they condition themselves, program themselves, and convince themselves that you are them in a different body. Be mindful. Okay, this was a message of warning. It was long, but it was necessary. Hope you enjoyed your snacks or your drink, or you just, this brought you some form of confirmation or assurance, or this alert, this warning activated something within you. Pay attention to your surroundings, your environment, the people in them. Pay attention to your senses. What are you feeling? What are you thinking based on what you are doing in life, in your day-to-day? Okay? Because everything is a form of divine guidance. You are being led, you are being shown, you are being nudged, so take heed, because it's people like you, beloved, that you don't even have to know someone for them to be this obsessed with you, whether you know this person or not. Just in general, like, you carry a divine energy within you that attracts all types of things. That's why you experience the warfare that you've experienced. Like, it's just all a part of this game of life. Okay, so with that being said, thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time, and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, On my Patreon, I offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. You'll find the link to my Patreon listed in my description box below, and you can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Stay prayed up, and I'll see you all soon, beloved. Goodbye.